Hi, I'm Anna. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you.
Waves opening, here we go. Slow waves carrying every hope. Stay a while, feel the glow. Settle in and let it flow.
This is my fly. I like my fly. Everyone should have a fly. Boy, fucking fly. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe because that is what keeps me fucking going. A quick recap, I have done multiple surgeries. I've done my voice, I've done my bottom surgery, and I have done my face. I have recovered from all of them. I have a little bit of numbness in my bottom lip, but that's it. And I can't feel my top of my head. It's not that important, but it's a second. But let's get straight to the point. My sex life. Why am I doing this? Well, science, right? No, I just want to give something back to the community, tell them my experience and give them a heads up of what they could expect after surgery, and not only after surgery but just dating life and stuff. It's important as well. Dating was kind of numb in the beginning. When I was baby trans, I kind of just online dated a bit and that's it. It was kind of calm because I didn't feel secure and I felt a bit insecure about me and trying to pass and stuff and my emotions going. I just chatted with people and it wasn't until 24 that I started engaging with people. In August 24 I did my bottom surgery, and then I think October or November was the start of me getting in touch with people again. Not directly to have sex, but just to get in this world. Having a gun was a big opener for me. Literally, no, oh my god. No, it was I didn't do the surgery just to have sex. I had the surgery because I had this insane bad feeling about the thing, and afterwards I had an amazing feeling, but I always felt curious on how it would feel, on how it would work, and so on and so on. But me being bisexual and experimenting with that was a thing as well. At the end of 24 I started dating on Tinder and talking to people and going out, but not that often. The beginning of 2025 I started meeting up with people and I dated a bit. I tried some stuff out with a girl and with some guys, and it was cool, but I never dared to go to the big letter S. Sex was not ready yet, I guess. I eventually tried it at first with a girl, and it was kind of cool because we used toys and stuff and we experimented and it was cool. And it was more like a discovery because I was discovering her body, she was discovering my body. The most cool part of it all was experiencing something new because yeah, you're telling everything online. Yeah, I'm telling everything online. I don't care. I just want people to know that there are ups and downs, and I want to share my story. It was an amazing adventure at first, and discovering a new something, the new level of getting to that spot and finding it and coming. But with that new body part, realizing there's a new feeling, realizing there's a new something, and not knowing how it would feel was so extraordinary. It was so amazing. But let's skip a bit to the dating part, and then I go back to sex because I didn't know what to do in my dating life, because I had this crucial question: how do I tell them, or when do I tell them that I'm trans? Number one, before you date, you tell them, or if you meet them in the open, you approach them, you have a conversation, you tell them you're trans. The second option was you meet them You don't tell them they're trans, but when you get to the sex part, right before you have sex, you tell them you're trans. The third level was you meet them, you don't tell them you're trans, you have sex with them, and you tell them you're trans afterwards, preferably in a safe location. And the fourth option was you meet them, you don't tell them you're trans, you have sex with them, and you don't tell them you're trans at all. I tried all of them. Yeah, I had some amazing experiences and I had some shitty experiences. Number one, that's how it started in the beginning of this year. I started meeting up with people in clubs. Like, people didn't like see that I was trans. Sometimes they kind of like asked me, like when they were dancing with me and they felt my hands, they were like getting this feeling like, wow, she has huge hands or something, or maybe they saw something in my face before my facial feminization surgery, or I don't know, some people around them told them that knew me, because I know a lot of people when I'm clubbing and they know me, and then they maybe tell the people I'm dancing with. I did that a couple of times and it was fun because like you can meet up on Tinder and just have it on your profile like I'm trans, and then it's like set, right? But it's not, because I had a lot of matches and people talk to me and go like, oh, beautiful, blah 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 blah, and then they want to talk to me and they want to meet up, and then they go like, what's the flag, or what does it mean trans, and then you have to go explain it, and then they just ghost you, and that's not fun. Or they just comment about the flag and comment about you being trans, and they talk about trans all the time, and that's it, and that's your conversation, so that's not fun. But if you're out in clubbing or something, you dance with people, you have a connection, you kind of have like a sort of spark, and you start talking and stuff. It's cool because when you eventually tell them you're trans, you immediately have or they go like, I don't want you, or they go like, I'm not interested, or oh my god, really? Bye. And it's kind of disgusting. Or you kind of have the reaction of, oh cool, I'm kind of passive, but they just ghost you. Or I get the reaction, and I had most of them being like, cool, wow, I'm interested now, and they kind of like are a bit too interested at that point. But these lead up to mostly interested people who want a little bit more, and I have a little bit more, but I'll talk about that in the next part. Other dates I had, or dates, other people I met, I later on didn't tell them I was trans, because I got a little bit more like self-aware that I don't have to tell everyone constantly, because it led to very negative experiences. I don't feel that I have to tell them anymore. Like, it's their problem. If they're like attracted to me, and if they have like a spark or something and they want to like engage, why would I have to be the one to tell them about my gender, I mean, come on, why am I responsible for their interest? I'm not. They're interested in me. That's it. It's their problem. It's a you problem. It's not my problem. And I kind of followed that, and that's option 2. I just met up with them, but I felt kind of like responsible in a bit. And right before sex, I told them. And it was kind of cool, because mostly it turned out to be like, you shock them, and they go like a little bit in a defensive position. They go like, wait, what does it mean? And afterwards they like sink in, they know they're on their own, they're in their safe bubble at home, mostly at their place, and then they go like, well, what the hell, let's just do it. And then you have sex, and then it's amazing, but it's kind of like a small buzzkill. And after the sex, they kind of like leave you, because I think they just want the check in the box or something. I don't know. Or they want to have the experience and they'll never talk about it anymore. And I'm not sure if I stand for that. And I didn't. So I went to option number 3. And yeah, I just met up with people. I had the spark. We had, talked and kissed and whatever. Went to their place or to my place, mostly their place. And we had sex and it was amazing and it was fun and there was no topic on the trans stuff. So we could have a first normal sexual conversation and intercourse and whatever and having fun and finally experiencing whatever I wanted, just being a normal human being, which I am, but according to the big part of society, we are not, and we have to like labor ourselves. I could have just a normal night as a normal girl who's meeting up with a guy and has fun, some sex, and that's it. And that was cool, part 3. But afterwards, I told them, or I told them like after a couple of hours after sex, we were like chilling and having a drink, or I would tell them on a text or a phone call. And these interactions were kind of somewhere like neutral to passive. They go like, I don't mind, and then I start thinking like they knew all along, or they go like they ghost you completely, or they went like pretty aggressive and angry and go like, what the fuck, you should tell me and how and why, and it's not true, and that's kind of scary. And the best parts were like, I don't care, and I would like to meet you again, and that's cool, and that gives you kind of like a boost. But still having these negative responses pushed me into option 4, and that's the one I rolled with after my facial feminization surgery. I actually completely tried to remove all of the trans topics in my day-to-day life. And even though I'm trans and I won't deny it, I completely started forgetting I was trans. I went to Los Angeles and I went there. I'm gonna have the time of my life, and trans is not gonna be part of it. Even though I met up with trans people and had a lot of fun, I just had a normal adventure just as a girl in Los Angeles, and it was awesome. And that mindset stuck, and I came back to Belgium and I kind of like tossed all the trans ideas and trans dysphoria feelings and stuff. I pushed them all back a bit, and it worked out great. My insecurities were kind of like gone. I had to swap the battery because my camera battery was out. There. It's still okay, I don't know. I experienced what I just wanted, and that was just living and not being like addicted to passing or addicted to thinking what people thought of me. My dysphoria was kind of like moving out. The first couple of times going out was like, I just had a normal night out, and that was cool. And it was exciting to go out again, and then just having another normal night out. And then I kissed the girl, and it was cool. And then another night I kissed the guy, it was cool. And then I met up with a guy, and we had sex, it was cool. And these were motivating and fun and so affirming and soothing and cool. Eventually it became a habit. It was going out once a week, twice a week, and meeting up with people and completely getting pushed away from the dysphoria that I had. It's amazing. And so experimenting grew, and I always kept on to option number 4, because in my eyes I couldn't care less what people thought of me. I got to that stage, like, I'm Jana, take me as I am. And if they wanna eventually clock me as trans, I would probably even just not care and go like, yeah, so what? What's the difference? I mean, and that's the cool part. When I had sex with them, and I'm talking about girls and guys, this was never a topic. This was never a thing. This was never a thing. People just took me as I am, complimented me on my body, and we had sex and it was fun. And once in a while, I kind of was in a mood to tell them myself. Because I was kind of like, I trust this guy and this is fun. We might have a future or something. Or I can feel something for this guy or this girl. And I just told them. No, I normally don't tell people, and they kind of went like, no way, or what the fuck, or are you real, or something. And it was cool. I had one person who knew it all along because he found me on Instagram, and he responded with like, yeah, I knew. I saw it actually on your Instagram. And I'm like, what the fuck, you what? And yeah, he just did his research and he knew it, but he didn't care, so that was cool. But most of them were in shock and they were like, no, and they couldn't believe it, and that was so fun. But yeah, anyway, long story short, I'm pro number 4, not talking about it and don't care. And if I'm feeling safe for the person, I would tell them. So that's actually a 4 more to 3. I could tell them eventually in a safe environment when I feel like it. Eventually, whatever happens, if I would go further and have a relationship, I would always tell them, of course. But let's move on to the sex itself. Let's talk about sex. The thing was gone. A couple of months out, this beauty butterfly became a beautiful flower that's like ready to do something. But I was kind of like picky, like, damn, I'm a virgin again, so let's be fragile and let it be beautiful and something I could always remember. And I have to admit, it was a special something, because the first time was wow. That's too much details for the internet. I'm just gonna skip ahead to how it feels for me. The orgasm, my god, I had a couple of moments in like scattered expeditions or adventures. I claim to have the best feeling of my life, but every time after, when I claimed it again, that level increased. Get what I mean? So the first orgasm was like, this is insane, and the level kept increasing, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was so intense and so out of body feeling. Was, I don't know, wow. But then like a couple of dates later, I was like having an orgasm again, but in a different level. Like, wow, what is happening? And then like it kind of depends when the guy fits, and that's kind of like pretty strange to explain. But if the guy fits, it's kind of like awesome. If the guy doesn't fit, it's kind of like embarrassing for them. And if the guy kind of gets lost in there, and yeah, it's not that cool for me. But if they're good with their oral sex, those are the best, in my opinion. The best feeling so far, 2025. Yeah, she knows. If she's gonna see this video, she knows. But how she pushed me that night, that was like, oh my god, so good. Okay, too much details. Long story short, sex is insane, and it works. And it works. I mean, literally it works. It's not like it's a feeling. No, it's literally, it works. I am so thankful that these surgeons were able to do this. I never expected it to work. I just wanted that thing out of my life, and that's it. I wasn't focused on the sex. Seeing that it works, feeling that it works. Dating right now is kind of, imagine I meet up to people, they kind of like me, I like them, we have sex, it's cool, it's awesome. Or I meet up with people online, we talk a lot, we plan on dating, it's so fun. And eventually, when we come to that point that we are connected, I tell them, and they drop out, they ghost me. It's reckoning. It's awful. And yeah, that's how it went eventually. I came to the point that I'm almost at option 1 again. I just instantly tell them. It's kind of like almost aggressive. I go like, yeah, before I say anything, I'm trans, just deal with it. And then I get an instant reply with like whatever I want. They go like, oh God, or are you serious? But mostly they are okay with it at first. So it's kind of like cool, you think. You go like, oh wow, they're open to it. But they just ghost you. That's the majority of them. They are keyboard warriors. They go like, oh cool, it's okay, I'm fine with that. Why would that ever be a thing? And then they just disappear. If I could choose the online dating option or the in real life option, I would choose the in real life option. But you meet up with people in real life and you only have that connection of the moment. The music, the topic you're having at that point, and that's it. I think I'll just have to settle for just the dating life. I'm hoping to match someone in real life, because the online option is not an option for trans people, in my opinion. It's always biased by that label, and if you don't want to use that label, you have to be lucky. Because I don't want to use that label, and yeah, imagine a world having no labels, just people being attracted to another person. That will be the perfect world, in my opinion. Person attracted to person, that's it. No gay, no lesbian, no sexuality, sexuality expression that you have to share, or your gender that you have to share, or whatever. No, just person being attracted to person. That's my opinion, that's me. I'm Jana, I'm trans, and I am single. I'm not selling myself here. I'm gonna log out. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, whatever. I got my blue page as well, I got my Instagram, and I am having the time of my fucking life. Peace.